Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Easter edition of the CFRL Cup Series. Tonight is race 13 of the 2024 season at Darlington Raceway for our CFRL Southern 500. I'm Ryan Harp, or Darth Kylo, and thank you for joining us tonight. Now, before we get into what we have in store for tonight's race, a look back at what happened over the last week. And of course, last week we had our doubleheader at Road America and Gateway, and it was Bradley Domer Jr. sweeping both races in that doubleheader to win 3 races in a row, and of course, his second and third races of the season. And if you missed our midweek race on Wednesday, we had our first race with the Extreme Dirt Tour late models on the dirt track at Drebin, and amazingly, I came away with my first career midweek series win, which is pretty crazy, especially considering I actually ended up leading wire to wire. Now, of course, if you watch that broadcast, it did look pretty laggy, but of course on my screen everybody was fine. But of course, I'll try and get that situation fixed before the next dirt race. But anyway, tonight is, of course, our CFRL Southern 500 at Darlington. A very unique shaped oval. It's kind of like I said last week at Gateway, how it's like a pre-1997 version of Darlington, but flatter. Well, of course, we are actually at the real Darlington tonight, the original sort of egg-shaped oval, where this time around the wider turns are turn 1 and 2, and the shorter, narrower turns are turn 3 and 4. So it's going to present a pretty big challenge for the drivers tonight, and they're hoping to avoid getting a Darlington stripe, as it were, especially in turns 3 and 4 because it's so tight. And of course, the track was built that way because I believe the landowner that was living next to where the track was being built, he didn't want to have his pond disturbed. So what they ended up doing is that they shortened turns 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 at the time, and that's how they came up with the distinct egg shape. So yeah, a pretty big challenge tonight, and since it is our second crown jewel race of the year, not only will we have 3 stages tonight, but there's going to be even more pressure on our drivers. And that's because, and I totally forgot to mention this during the Daytona 500, but new this year is our CFRL no bull races. Now, if you're familiar with NASCAR back in the late 90s or early 2000s, NASCAR would hold specific races where eligible drivers have a chance to compete for extra prize money. Now, we've decided to take that system and put it into the CFRL, but of course, instead of monetary prizes, we're actually going to be giving away points, bonus points tonight. Now, if I can find out here. Okay, so new for 2024 is our no bull races. Now, the no bull races will consist of all our crown jewel races, including the Daytona 500 that we had back at the beginning of the year, tonight's race at Darlington, as well as all of our other crown jewel races, the Coke 600 and the Brickyard 400, as well as the Spring Talladega race. So the top 5 finishers from the previous no bull race, which is our Daytona 500, will be eligible to compete. And those top 5 drivers are the 4 of Tegan Jones, the 41 of David Wessel, who finished 1-2, respectively, the 3 of Kevin Williams, the 10 of Kamal Wright, and the 1 of Anthony Peters. And the top 5 from the Southern 500 last year were the eligible no bull drivers for the Daytona 500 earlier this year. Now, a range of extra points are available to both no bull and non-no bull participants. So here is how that will work. The highest finishing no bull driver will receive 5 extra regular season points. If a no bull driver also wins the race, they receive an extra 2 playoff points for a total of 5. So with the 3 playoff points that a driver gets for winning the race, you're adding 2 more points onto that. So 5 playoff points is going to be a pretty big deal as we get closer to the end of the season, or the end of the regular season. Now, here's where it gets interesting, especially for the drivers who are not eligible for the no bull race. If a non-no bull driver wins the race tonight, they also receive 5 extra regular season points, along with the highest finishing no bull driver. So, if a non-no bull driver wins, they get 5 points. And then the highest finishing no bull eligible driver also gets 5 points. So, there's going to be a lot of pressure on all of these guys, especially the non-no bull drivers, because if they go out there and win the race, they can earn just as many points as somebody who's competing in the no bull. And that's going to be pretty wild, to say the least. Now, as I am getting invites to the lobby, I will go ahead and break down the starting lineup for tonight's race. On the pole is Bradley Domer Jr., the winner of the last 3 races, with a new track record of a 28.969. And starting right next to him is Kevin Hall in the 37. Row 2, we have Spencer Boyce in the 7, and Jared Haw in the 88. Michael Whitman, who in the 9 is in 5th, and Ryan Parsons 6th. 7th, Michael Fox. 8th, Keegan Jones. 9th, David Wessel. 10th, Joshua Harris. 11th, Cameron Morris. 12th, James Iconelli. 13th, Kevin Williams. 14th, Anthony Peters. And rounding out the field is the 10 of Kamal Wright. And since they have gotten into the race here, I will go ahead and join them. Now, as to my prediction as to who I'm going to be watching out for tonight, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on our pole sitter and the winner of the last 3 races, Bradley Domer Jr. He has been on a pretty crazy hot streak with, winning Watkins Glen and the last 2 races, both of which for the doubleheader. So, and of course, he's starting on the pole, which he usually starts out front for a lot of these races. So he's got a really good chance to score some points tonight. And on top of that, he's a non-no bull driver. So he has a chance to gain some extra points tonight. And it looks like the lobby is all ready to roll, and we are getting ready for the start of the race here. Bradley Domer Jr. has chosen the outside. It's Easter Sunday, and the Easter Bunny is hoping, and these guys are hoping that the Easter Bunny brings them some extra points tonight. Green flag is out, and we are underway at Darlington.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. They're easy. I thought I was going to be fucked on that qualifying, but actually did pretty good.
Yeah. You were quite fortunate about how the inside line had a restart.
Did not go.
No, I really think it was just the inside lane not going then.
Yeah, the inside did not go.
Yeah. It's not going to matter if the guy in, 6th starts. Spencer, you are such a doofus. I mean, you're so I appreciate that. Well, don't slam into me.
Blackman threw 3 words in at one and just, gave you that, Spencer. Sorry.
Already went 3 hits.
Tight. Oh, this is sketch. That fucking bump-ass shit, dude. I see you're right. I wanted to make a move on Bradley, but I knew.
So a pretty crazy start already. Bradley, the pole sitter, led the first couple laps, and all of a sudden, his teammate, the 88 of Jared Haw, he's looking to make his presence felt as he took the lead. And in the back, we saw one car go around, and that was the 3 of Kevin Williams, one of the no bull drivers. So he's having some troubles early on. Of course, it's a one-car incident. We stay green. And so already we've seen a lot of shuffling back and forth between these guys, and of course some of them are hitting the wall. And even some of them getting loose, just like Jared Haw just did there coming off of turn 2, and that's going to be the trouble spot for pretty much everybody tonight. Now, of course, since it's Darlington, turn 3 and 4, you think would be, calamity corner because of how close everyone is running up toward the wall, and they're gonna hit it. But here it's actually turn 2 as we see Bradley ride the wall there in turn 1 and 2. But yeah, coming off of turn 2, there's sort of like kind of a bump coming off of turn 2, and that causes these cars to get very upset and almost lose control. But so yeah, Bradley falling all the way back to about, if I can find him here. Yeah, he's fallen all the way back to 10th. As he was riding the wall off of turn 2 there. So trouble early for the winner of the last 3 races and our pole sitter. We're looking at Spencer Boyce in the 7, who is running in 7th. And of course, some of our drivers tonight running throwback schemes. But of course, it's not mandatory. You do not have to run a throwback scheme if you do not want to. As we see the 41 of Wessel taking advantage of the throwback weekend. Now he's looking toward the inside of the 9 of Michael Whitman. And both Wessel and Spencer are right on that back bumper of the guy who's currently 2nd in regular season points, the 2023 champion. And meanwhile, the top 3 have broken away. The 88 of Jared Haw, the 14 of Ryan Parsons, the 37 of Kevin Hall. And we saw earlier, Parsons actually had a little bit of a look underneath the 88 for the lead. And of course, he's still leading that train. Tegan Jones, who started 7th, he's already gained 3 spots, and he's now running 4th. But of course, that 4 is always a threat to win, no matter where we race at. And of course, he is leading that 2nd pack. which has already kind of started to spread out. And everyone running almost single file. So yeah, all the while, the 88 of Jared Haas still leading. Yeah, apologies for that little break in the commentary. I was looking something on the Discord chat. Looking at something on the Discord chat. Up front, it is still the 88, the 14, and the 37. As we got a change for fourth place, as Michael Whitman has taken over fourth spot now. So he's leading that second pack. It's a Chevy, Ford, Chevy second pack. And there might be a third Chevy involved as the 42 of Michael Fox is looking to join this fray. And as we see somebody get very low off the turn 2, and I think it might have been the 48 of Bradley Domer Jr. Started on pole, and he's having a pretty nightmarish start to the race here. And we are about 20 laps away from the end of stage 1. Since stage 1 does consist of the first 45 laps of the races, now we have a change for the lead. The 14 of Ryan Parsons is taken over. And the 88's falling back to third, and now the 37's up to second. Oh, Hall gets very loose off of turn 2. You see, that's what I was saying. It's sort of like a bump coming off of turn 2 that causes the cars to get very upset. And because of that, the 88 has taken over second again. And at this track, it's not really about if you have the fastest car, it's how well you can navigate turn 2. As the 88 goes way wide in turn 3, as the 37 of Kevin Hall takes over second again. And we see the 41 of Wessel also get into the wall. If I'm the 14 of Parsons, I would say don't look now, because you're about to come up on some lap traffic. You have about a straightaway's worth of a gap between yourself and the 3 of Kevin Williams. And of course, we have seen these guys start making aggressive moves early, because, I mean, not only is this a tough track to race on, but again, extra points are on the line for everybody here tonight. Michael Whitman still running in fourth place, leading that second pack. And he's getting a good view of the battle for second between his teammate, Jared Haw, and the 37 of Williams, as Whitman also gets loose off of two. And now it's looking more and more like the two packs are about to become one, as I think he may be actually gaining on the battle for second, as Hall gets into the wall. And Hogg goes on the outside to take over second. So great move by the 88 of Jared Haw. As he wants to get himself back into the lead. But he has to chase down that 14 of Parsons to do it. And Parsons is getting closer and closer to that 3 car as he too gets loose off of turn 2. Yeah, and Kevin Williams is coming into the pits. Either for an unscheduled stop or could be the start of a green flag pit stop. So I'm guessing it's probably for an unscheduled stop. Oh, and Hall gets loose off of 2 again. Yeah, but he still hangs on to it, and now he's coming under attack from the 9 of Whitman. Yeah, Whitman is right on that bumper of the 37 now as he gets a good run coming off of 2. But he gets loose off of 2, as does the 88. Yeah, the 37 taking a lower line, the 9 taking a higher line. And that treacherous turn 3 and 4 as I think Tegan Jones hit the wall coming off of turn 4. Oh, Whitman hits the wall going into 1. And he hits the wall again coming off of 2. And that's going to allow the 4 Tegan Jones to close right on in. He's making a move down on the inside. But Whitman holds on to it. Bradley has gotten around his teammate, the 24 of James Iaconelli. Oh, Kevin Hall gets very loose off of turn 2 as he almost hits the inside wall. Yeah, again, that turn 2 is going to be the most treacherous part of this track for a lot of these guys. And we've already seen it. Definitely more so than others. Meanwhile, the battle for 4th is heating up between the 9 of Michael Whitman, the 4 of Tegan Jones, the 7 of Spencer Boyce, and the 41 of David Wessel are also getting involved in this scrap. Oh, Wessel gets into the wall. That's going to cost him some momentum. But now it looks like Wessel's coming into the pits. I believe this may be the start of green flag pit stops. The 12 of Joshua Harris is also in. And now Jared Haas coming in for his green flag stop. So yeah, it looks like green flag pit stops have commenced here at Darlington. Yeah, it's a very tricky pit road to enter as you basically have to drive all the way down to the lower part of the apron to enter pit road. And the 48 follows the 88 in. Now the 14 pitting from the lead, and that's going to give the top spot to the 37 to Kevin Hall. Spencer Boyce and Michael Fox are also coming in. I believe, I'm looking at Whitman's stream, and he roughly has about 5 laps worth of fuel. So I'm guessing this run of green flag pit stops is so these guys can have enough fuel and tires to make it to the end of the first stage. But of course, some of these guys are willing to stretch it just a little bit further. That way they can get themselves that oh so valuable track position. Yeah, that's probably what Kevin Hall's thinking. That's what Michael Whitman's thinking. That's what Tegan Jones is thinking. As we got James Iaconelli and Cameron Morrison in the pits now. And now Kevin Hall's coming in for his stop. That will hand the lead over to the 9 of Michael Whitman. And the 4 of Tegan Jones is breathing down his neck. And I'm pretty sure that when the 9 pits, the 4 will follow suit right behind him. And not only is entering pit road here tricky, exiting pit road is also pretty difficult, as the 4 of Tegan Jones comes in for his stop. And that'll leave the 9 all by his lonesome. And as I was saying about exiting pit road, you have to stay on the left side of that yellow line until about right there. And then you blend back up onto the racing surface. And now Whitman's coming in for his stop. So yeah, a very tricky pit road to enter and a very tricky pit road to exit. Because the entry and exits are so low onto that apron. And now that Whitman is in, we'll wait and see if the pits cycle out. And that will probably mean the 14 of Ryan Parsons will reassume the lead. In fact, Michael Whitman is actually still the leader as he comes off of pit road. Kevin Hall retakes the lead, but he gets way loose off of turn 2 and almost gets into that inside wall. So Kevin Hall cycles back out into the lead with about 8 laps to go in the first stage. And of course, Whitman took 2 tires on that stop, so he might have the fresher tires, and he might have something for the 37 here before we get to the end of the stage here. But of course, there is that possibility of the 37 taking 4 tires. So that gives him 2 extra fresher tires than the 9 of Michael Whitman. Oh, the 37 gets into the wall off of turn 2. These guys are looking to take it pretty gingerly around this track, as I believe we have 6 laps to go in the stage here. So the 37 Hall using the pit strategy to his advantage, and he takes over the lead. And Michael Whitman tried to make an overcut work, and it kind of did as he's running in second. The 14 of Ryan Parsons, who was the one leading this race earlier before green flag pit stops began, he's running in third place now. Oh, the 9 of Whitman gets loose off of 2. We have Jared Haw running in 4th place. And the 42 of Michael Fox running in 5th. I believe we now have 4 laps to go in stage 1. And it looks like the 14 of Parsons is gaining ever so much on the 9 of Whitman here. And it looks like the 9 has gained on the 37 just that little bit. But of course the 37 might be saving his stuff and being extra careful coming off of turn 2. As now the 14 is right on the back bumper of the 9. Oh, the 9 gets a little loose. Parsons on the outside, trying to make that work. And they're still side by side coming off at turn 4 here. I believe we have 2 laps to go in the stage as Parsons takes over second. Yeah, but he wants more than that. He wants a stage win. And he has a very good chance of doing that, but he's running out of time. And of course, it's 2 laps to go, so pits are closed. Oh, both Hall and Parsons get loose off of 4. We are now on the last lap of the stage. And now it's become a 3-horse race for the stage win. Oh, Hall gets loose off of 2. Whitman also gets loose off of 2. Contact between the 14 and the 37 as Parsons makes the outside work again. As he comes off of turn 4. So a pretty crazy finish to stage 1 as Ryan Parsons takes the stage 1 win. Yeah, pretty wild ending to the first stage here. And I'm sure we're going to see a pretty similar scenario as we get to the end of stage 2. And I'm sure we'll definitely see one when we get to the end of the race. And so the top 10 is Ryan Parsons, taking the stage win, Kevin Hall 2nd, Michael Whitman 3rd, Jared Hoff 4th, Tegan Jones 5th, Michael Fox 6th, David Wessel 7th, Spencer Boyce 8th, Cameron Morris 9th, and Joshua Harris 10th. And since everybody is going to be coming down to pit road, we shall see who has the first pit stall, so that way we can see who wins the race off of pit road. And it looks like it will be... It will be the 3 of Kevin Williams. Kevin Hall gets a great exit off of pit road as he wins it off. So Kevin Hall gaining a spot on pit road as he reassumes the lead. And of course they're dipping down to the inside lane so that way the 3 can get his lap back. Since I believe he was the only car a lap down. They are doubling up here. And I think because Hall is getting back on the... Williams, I should say, is getting back on the lead lap, they'll probably add another lap here. Yep, and that's exactly what they'll do. So, They have doubled up, but we are going to go around one more time. Kevin Williams has caught back up to the tail end of the field. So yes, we are going to be going green this time. Kevin Hall has chosen the outside line for the restart. Seems to be the preferred line around here. Especially going into turn 1, since you do carry a bit more speed up top than you do on the bottom. And since, you know, it is Easter Sunday, it is a crown jewel race, it is a no bull race, and as they come to take the green flag here, how about we crank it up?
Just so you know, Mike, I do.
Oh, Mike, in the corner. Oh, shit.
What's up? I do break a little. Check it out. I didn't pull it and hit you during corners. No, you didn't.
Jimmy, you got it, man. Oh, well, I said you had it. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna try. It looks like there's a lot going on back there.
Yeah, it is. I was racing like this, it's gonna let them get away. Dude, I had them break into turn 1.
Yeah, I ran my record last lap.
I'm trying to just because of that. Of course, I had nowhere to go. There's going to be a wreck. See it.
Yeah, so another pretty wild restart as Kevin Hall did not get going on that outside lane, and that allowed the 14, Orion Parsons, as well as the 9 of Michael Whitman, and everybody else on the inside lane to take full advantage of it. And it looked like the 14 and the 9 have broken away from the field, but now everyone from third on back is starting to get their act together a little bit here. Oh, as we got one car way down on the inside. Gotten loose off of turn 4. Oh, the caution's actually out. So I believe there may have been a wreck in the back of the field. And I think the 3 of Kevin Williams was one of them. One of the cars involved. So roughly 5 laps into stage 2, and we already have our first caution for an on-track incident of this race. And yes, everyone is once again coming onto pit road. And now we will look at Kevin Williams' camera, so that way we can see who wins the race off. And it's Tegan Jones that wins the race off of pit road. So I believe we have our first pretty big shakeup of this race, as Tegan Jones has taken over the lead on pit road. And the 7 of Spencer Boyce gained a lot of spots during those pit stops. As I believe he was one of the cars that had gotten loose in the back and was way down onto the apron coming off of turn 4. And now Tegan Jones, he thought about taking the inside, but he thought better of it, and he's taking the outside line for the restart. And since everyone is here, we are going to go green this time. So a pretty big shakeup on that last round of pit stops. And how will it affect the outcome? Green flag's out, and we are back underway at Darlington. Oh, Tegan Jones gets into the wall, and that's going to allow Michael Whitman to capitalize on it. They were 3 wide for the lead, but Ryan Parsons gets around both of them, and he takes the top spot. Well, that's certainly the way to take the lead. Yeah, but now Jones has dropped back to 4th. Oh, and he gets loose off of 2. So now, once again, it is the 14 and the 9 at the front of the field. The 14 opened up a hole for the 9 to try to get through. And Spencer Boyce, who restarted second, he's now dropped all the way back to the tail end of the field. So I believe Jones and Boyce took 2 tires on that last pit stop, so that's probably why they're falling back here. And I find it pretty wild that it's the Parsons and Whitman at the front of the field. As toward the end of the race at Road America, which was the first race of our doubleheader last week, there was a pretty wild exchange as one of them was coming off the pit road after green flag pit stops. I believe it was Parsons that blended onto the track too early, and Whitman had to take evasive action. So a bit of a miscommunication between those two guys, and now they're running 1-2 in this race. Yeah, but it seems like Parsons is pulled away from Whitman just that little bit, and now Whitman's under attack from the 37 Hall. Meanwhile, they have broken away from everybody fourth on back. And Tegan Jones, who was leading on that restart, has now dropped back down to 5th place. And he's still holding on to a top 5 spot though. And now it looks like the 9 of Michael Whitman has caught back up to Parsons. He's right on that back bumper now. But now Whitman's trying to size him up. And one of the best chances that he has to make a move for the lead is coming off of turn 2 if Parsons makes a bit of a mistake as he might get loose here. But as I say that, Whitman's the one who gets loose off of 2. And Kevin Hall tried to take advantage of it on the high side. But it's Whitman that holds on to second place. Oh, the 88 of Jared Hall hits that bump off of 2 and he gets loose. And it looked like the 88 was actually going to catch up to the front 3, but after that, he's dropping back. Now he's under attack from the 4, Tegan Jones. And it's still Parsons, Whitman, and Hall at the front of the field. Meanwhile, we have a battle for 8th brewing between the 48 of Bradley Domer Jr., the 12 of Joshua Harris, and the 2 of Cameron Morris. So it's the lone Hendrick car trying to fight off a pair of Penske's. But Harris is the one that now gets loose off of 2. And Cameron Morris takes advantage of it on the high side. And now that Morris has gotten around Harris for 9th, he's trying to get past Bradley for 8th. Oh, but Bradley's leaving him a hole. Almost gets into the wall there off of 4. But meanwhile, it's still the 14, 9, and 37 out front, as the 9 had a look on the 14 of Parsons. But as they were coming into turn 3, he thought better of it. And all 3 of them are nose to tail. And their battling is going to allow the 88 of Jared Haw and the 4 of Tegan Jones to come back up to this fight, as the 37 gets loose off of 2 and gets into the wall. But he didn't lose too much momentum. Still right there. Now the 88 and the 4 are trying to size him up. And so yeah, the 3-car battle has now become a 5-car battle, as Hall puts the bumper to the 9 of Michael Whitman as he's trying to muscle his way to 2nd. Yeah, and he definitely takes a lower line into turn 1. As Whitman has to take evasive action as he goes down way low onto the apron. Yeah, that definitely cost him some spots.
Otherwise, you hit the self finish. Exactly. I'm sorry.
It's like we got in that corner, and it wasn't a bubble, but when I touched your quarter pedal, man, I'm sorry. You ran me over.
Yeah, so yeah, it started with the 37 Hall put in the bumper to the 9. But as they came into turn 1, Whitman got a little too high and he hit the wall. And that's how he ended up down onto the apron. And so because of that, Ryan Parsons has a pretty sizable gap over second place Kevin Hall. And Tegan Jones has gotten around Jared Haw for third now. Now Whitman's under attack from the 41 of Wessel. So everybody is now all spread out. With the exception of some battles, that's the 88 of Jared Haas coming onto pit road. So I believe this is a green flag cycle of pit stops. That's a repeat of the end of stage 1. So I believe everybody's going to come in and get enough fuel and tires to make it to the end of the stage. And I believe we have roughly 20 laps to go. Oh, we got the 24 of James Iaconelli around. Well, he was ghosted, and that caused Parsons to check up, and now Kevin Hall takes the lead. Yeah, but how long will it last as Parsons is now underneath the 37 again? They're side by side for the lead going into one as Parsons retakes the lead. So a bit of a crisis averted for the 14 of Ryan Parsons as the 24 of James Iaconelli was sideways onto the track blocking the line. But of course he was ghosted, so Parsons was able to phase through, but he had to check up in order to do that. That allowed the 37 Hall to get by for the lead. But Parsons just has that fast enough of a car to take it back just a few seconds later. But now Hall is wanting to take the lead back again as Iaconelli goes around off of turn 2. As Parsons gets loose off of 2. And Hall takes the lead again. So, a rather interesting last couple of laps as Hall gets into the wall and Parsons again taking over the lead. And now Jones is using the high side to his advantage to take over second. Yeah, but he has a great enough run to take the lead away from his teammate Parsons. Yeah, so Tegan Jones performing a double overtake over the course of the back straightaway. And now he has the lead. Oh, Parsons gets way loose, and he goes around and hits the inside wall. So trouble for the 14 of Ryan Parsons, who looked like he would have the most dominant car tonight. Yeah, but it's that bump off of turn 2 that bit him. So now he's on pit road, as well as the 7 of Spencer Boyce. And of course, Tegan Jones, the winner of our Daytona 500. And because of that, he is one of the drivers eligible for tonight's No Bull. But now it looked like he got loose off of 2. Yeah, but don't look now as it looks like the 37 of Kevin Hall looking like he might claw his way back to the lead. Oh, but it looks like Jones got a better run through turn 3 and 4 that time. And of course, with some of these guys making green flag pit stops, you gotta ask yourself, when are these other guys gonna come pit? As there you go, Tegan Jones pits from the lead. And the 41 of David Wessel joins him, as is the 48 of Bradley Domer Jr. So Kevin Hall has taken over the lead, but for how long? You gotta wonder when he is gonna make his pit stop. And he still stays out. And he's looking like he's coming under fire from the 7 of Spencer Boyce, trying to unlap himself the hard way. Of course, he was one of the first cars to hit pit road. And it looks like Kevin Hall is coming in. So Michael Whitman retakes the lead. And of course, you gotta wonder when he will make his stop. He has about 4 laps of fuel and his tire light is on. So it's getting close to that green flag pit stop. But of course, he's got to keep the new second place runner of the 2 of Cameron Morris behind him. Oh, but Whitman gets loose off of 2. And that's going to allow Morris to take the lead. But of course, these guys still have to make their pit stops before the end of the stage. And yep, Michael Whitman is coming in now. And Michael Whitman is coming in for his green flag stop. Yeah, with Whitman pitting, Morris has got to be thinking when he will make his stop, and it'll be right now. Cameron Morris comes on the pit road now. Not only is this pit road tricky to enter and exit, but it's also a pretty long pit road. And so Tegan Jones has gotten around Michael Whitman for 3rd on track. Yeah, and from the looks of it, the 3 of Kevin Williams is now the leader. But he is under attack from the 42 of Michael Fox. Right on that back bumper now, the 42. So if it holds out like this, this might be the battle for the stage win. And of course, Kevin Williams, one of the other noble drivers in the field tonight. Oh, and I just saw on Michael Whitman's stream, looked like the 37 of Hall ducked down to the apron to let the 9 go by. Yeah, and I believe that is the end of the stage, as everyone's slowing down here. Or it could be a caution. And actually, the 42 was a lap down. So I believe that is the end of the stage. So everyone is stopping on track to make sure everyone's in their right spots.
I was getting my left back.
Well, nobody said for you to fucking take off. We did. Alright, fuck you guys then, man.
Well, it's looking like there's a bit of an argument in the race chat here, as pit road is open. So your top 10, the 3 of Kevin Williams, the 41 of David Wessel, the 4 of Tegan Jones, the 9 of Michael Whitman. And that's your top 4 of us. Everyone fifth on back with the way they're running. I have no idea.
You guys are a bunch of assholes, man. Bunch of fucking pricks. Bunch of fucking deaf.
7 car got 10.
Thank you, Spencer.
You're welcome.
I'm really fucking sick of it.
Also, it looked like
You guys can't keep your
it was a caution. A caution came out, and that's what ended the stage. Let's see who wins the race off, and it will be the 41 of David Wessel. And Kevin Williams, who won the second stage, has dropped all the way back to about 10th or 11th on track. So David Wessel has now taken over the lead. Looks like he will choose the outside line for the restart. And it looks like everybody is starting to double up now. A bit of a... looks to be a bit of confusion to see who's where. It looks like they are going to go around one more time to try and sort this out. And it's looking like they do have it under control, so it's David Wessel, the leader, taking the high line for the restart. Tegan Jones second, taking the inside lane. Followed by Michael Whitman, Cameron Morris, Kevin Hall, Bradley Domer Jr., Jarrett Haw, and Spencer Boyce. Then Joshua Harris and Ryan Parsons, your top 10 as of right now. So there looks to be even more confusion about who's where. As I believe we're going to go around one more time to once again try and sort what's going on with the order here.
I don't know why he's back there hanging 500 feet from the field.
I think he wants to.
Is anybody lapped currently? Just curious.
I'm lapped, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So hopefully we've got this whole thing sorted out and we'll be able to get back underway here. And it looks like they have, so everybody's doubled up, getting ready to go back green for the final stage of the race. And I think it's time to, once again, crank it up.
This is really fucked up.
They've done it again.
Jeez.
Thank you for that, by the way. They weren't even in the restart zone.
I was at the beginning.
Yeah, we wasn't restart zone. We wasn't restart zone.
It really sucks not to have no fucking respect to even get my starting position.
Hit it twice. We're gonna leave it there. Sorry, Morris.
What day you're gonna do? Whatever.
That was not just for my obsession.
I mean,
hello.
fucking pissed off. You guys, I don't know what the fuck you guys just brought me this God damn.
Don't hit the wall, please. Thank you.
I mean,
Get on my car. Damn it.
well, what would you be doing, JB? Is that you? You shut the fuck.
Tegan, I didn't mean to get under you there.
Trying to be nice and got my ass stuck.
I really couldn't let off.
That's a caution.
Buddy,
We really
just
gonna go too hard in this? For real.
Yeah, yellow at the line.
Yellow at the line. Yellow at the line. My bad, Morris.
My car is hit the...
I can't tell if you guys think this is okay. Frankly, do you guys want me to fucking leave? I mean, I guess so, right?
No, we just want you to like.
And so another pretty wild restart as we get the third stage underway. Wessel was able to jump out ahead. And Michael Whitman's taking over second. But 3 laps in, there was a caution involving, I believe, the 14 of Parsons and the 3 of Williams and the 24 of Iconelli. Or at least that's what it sounded like there, as pit road is open and everybody's coming in. Yeah, another rather wild sequence of events as we get back green. And Kevin Williams has the first stall, so we'll see who wins the race off. Oh, and the 41 of Wessel just barely edged out the 9 of Michael Whitman to win the race off pit road and to keep the lead. So the 41 of David Wessel, who finished second in the Daytona 500 and thus is no bull eligible, he has taken back over the lead on pit road. And he has chosen the inside lane for the restart, so pretty interesting choice from the 41 of Wessel. And the green flag is out. We are back underway at Darlington. But it looks like the inside line worked for him that time, as he keeps the lead. On the 88, Jared Hogg gets in the wall. And the 42 of Fox goes around him. And so it's the top 6 that have broken the way from the rest of the pack. Oh, but Kevin Hall gets a little too high in the entering turn 3, and that's going to allow Bradley Domer Jr. To get around him. There was some contact made, though. Whitman right on that back bumper of the 41. Trying to find the best place to make the move for the lead. And I'm sure Tegan Jones is looking to do the same thing. But they both take a bit of a higher line, though. Oh, Whitman might have a run on Wessel here coming into 3. They're side by side for the lead. And Whitman clears him. So put the 9 out front. And how about the 48 of Bradley Domer Jr.? He started on pole, dropped back early, but over the course of this race, he has clawed his way back up toward the front, and he's now running 4th. So a pretty decent recovery for the winner of the last 3 races. And he's starting to lose touch with 3rd place Tegan Jones. And with the 9 and the 41 battling, that might allow the 4 to get involved. As we're looking at the battle for the lead from the 4 of Tegan Jones. Yeah, Whitman may have taken over the lead, but Wessel is still right on that back bumper of the 9. Not letting him leave his sight. And as they come across the line here, well, we have 74 laps to go. So there's still plenty of time to make a move, but at the same time, you're also kind of running out of time to make a move. That was a 37 of Kevin Hall, got a little bit loose off of turn 2. Probably hit that bump. And that allows the 14 to go on by. And that 41 still nose to tail with the 9 of Michael Whitman. And it looks like we have the 42 of Michael Fox hitting the wall off of 2. Yeah, the 42 of Fox was the one that hit the wall off of 2 there. Oh, the 9 gets loose off of 2. Ah, but he still holds on to that lead. And even though they're battling like this, they have broken away from the rest of the pack. That is led by the 4 of Tegan Jones. But at some point, that battle for the lead is going to allow the 4 to catch right back up, and honestly, that's kind of what it's looking like now. The 9 and the 41 battling. That's going to allow the 4 Tegan Jones to get bigger and bigger in their rear view mirrors. And as of now, it's still the 9 and the 41. Nose to tail here. As they just cross the line with 68 to go. Yeah, look at Bradley Domer Jr. He made a move on the 12 of Joshua Harris for 4th. And it's looking like the 14 of Ryan Parsons, he might do the same thing. Try and get his way back up through the field. Oh, the 88 hit the ball in the back. Oh, but here comes that 14 of Parsons. Right underneath the 12 of Joshua Harris. Oh, but Bradley hits the wall. He goes down on the apron. And that's going to allow Ryan Parsons to take advantage on the high side, as is the 12 and the 37. So Ryan Parsons goes back up to 4th. Oh, it looked like the 88 got loose off of 2. And it looks like he was about to hit the wall, but he kept it straight. Oh, but Spencer Boyce got loose off of a turn 4 there. So it's still the 9 and the 41, the top 2. But that 4 Tegan Jones, he's looking more and more prevalent. He's looking more and more threatening. Especially if the top 2 continue to battle the way that they have been doing. for pretty much the whole race at this point. For pretty much the whole race ever since the start of the final stage, I should say. Yeah, but with them running nose to tail and Tegan Jones hitting the wall off of 2, they've actually broken away from the 4. But of course, at any moment, they could just start battling once again, allowing the 4 Tegan Jones as well as the rest of that pack to catch right back up. As we now look at the 12 of Joshua Harris, who's now running in 5th place. He was one of those guys that followed Ryan Parsons on the high side when Bradley hit the wall in turn 3 and 4. So he's gone from having a relatively quiet day running toward the back of the top 10. And now he's up in the top 5. So it'll be a very good result for him if this holds. And now it's looking like Michael Whitman has broken away from the 41 of Wessel. Now I'm looking at Mike's stream and I'm going to see what happens here. Yeah, Wessel was still right on the back bumper of the 9. Oh, that's what happened. It was Wessel hit the wall in turn 1 and 2. And that's what allowed Whitman to pull away. So the 41 of David Wessel making a bit of a mistake by hitting the wall and allowing Michael Whitman to pull away. Because of that, he's now under attack from the 4 Tegan Jones, his teammate and team owner. As they cross the line with 50... Wait, hold up here. I believe they're going to be coming off of turn 4 here. And they will cross the line with 55 laps to go. Oh, Wessel riding the wall in turn 1 and 2. And that's going to allow the 4 Tegan Jones to take over second. The 14 of Parsons also gets around. And now the 9 of Whitman is coming on the pit road for his green flag stop. So a bit of a disaster for the 41 of David Wessel as he hit the wall behind Michael Whitman. And that's what caused Whitman to pull away. And now He rode the wall in turn 1 and 2, and that's what made him lose 3 spots. Yeah, so Michael Whitman, the first car on pit road. So a bit of an interesting strategy call from the 19 here. So, put Tegan Jones back out front, with Ryan Parsons in second. Oh, looks like the 88 of Jarrett Haw hit the wall off of turn 4. And he's now running in 7th. Oh, but he gets loose off of 2. And now the 7 of Spencer Boyce is ducking in for his green flag stop. As is the 37 of Kevin Hall. And so green flag pit stops have commenced. And the 2 of Cameron Morris is in. But they still have to make one more pit stop before this is all said and done. There's about 50 laps to go in the race now. The 12 of Joshua Harris is in. And now the 4 is going to come in. So put the 14 back out front. But of course the 14 and the 41, as well as the 88 back there, they still have to make their stops. And yep, the 14 is coming in now, as is the 88 of Jared Haw. So the 41 of David Wessel back out front. Of course, he still has to make his stop. But the question is, when will he do it? As he hits the wall off of 2. So I guess the answer to that question is, yeah, right now. And Wessel is coming in. So he was probably asking himself when he will make a stop as the 48 of Bradley Domer Jr. follows suit behind him. But he hits the wall off of turn 2. He's like, well, time to come to pit road. The 24 Iconelli also in. And that will hand the lead at the moment to the 42 of Michael Fox. And now he got into the wall, but this time on the straightaway. And yep, he's coming in for his stop as well. I'm going to keep an eye on Mike's stream here to see who emerges as the leader. And it's the 3 of Kevin Williams, at least at the moment. So he's trying to make stretching it work. But of course, he's had a pretty rough day in the early goings of this race, you know, started toward the back, and yep, he is coming in now. So starting toward the back and getting into nothing but trouble all race long. But his strategy ended up giving him a stage win. So with Kevin Williams pitting, that means the pits have cycled out. And the 9 of Michael Whitman has reassumed the lead. As they now have 43 laps to go. As they're coming off of turn 4, as they're going to cross the line with 42 to go. Now, one thing to keep in mind, these guys do still have to make one more stop. So Whitman in the lead, followed by Tegan Jones in second. Kevin Hall getting loose off of turn 4. He's running in 3rd place. And Ryan Parsons in 4th. And I cannot tell if Spencer Boyce is 4th position or not. "40 laps to go now. And Whitman has a pretty good gap over the 2nd place car of Tegan Jones. But of course, if they finish where they're running right now, Michael Whitman will get 5 extra regular season points. And Tegan Jones, the highest running no bull driver at the moment, he will also get 5 regular season points. Of course, the crown jewel race, the Southern 500, a no bull race, extra points are on the line for a lot of these guys. And of course, with Whitman leading, he's like, yeah, I want a slice of that pie. I want 5 extra points. Because that'll definitely help me out, because I'm running 2nd in points to the guy who's running 2nd in the race. And of course, Jones, he pitted later than Whitman. But at some point in the run, the tires do even out in terms of wear or runoff. Or fall off, I should say. So even though you pitted later, the fall off will even the cars out. Oh, we got the 12 of Joshua Harris, who got wicked loose off of turn 2 there. And I believe Kevin Hall, it is for position, so Kevin Hall is in 5th place at the moment. Or should I say 4th? Yeah, he is running in 4th place. So I believe Spencer Boyce was for position. They now have 34 laps to go. Again, these guys still have to make one more pit stop. $33 to go. Let me look up the Discord here. Now Michael Whitman looking for his 3rd win of the year. Of course, he won Kentucky. And he won a hard-fought battle over his teammate, the 48 of Bradley at Atlanta. And he's 30 and a half laps away from getting win number 3. $30 to go now. And everybody's all spread out now. But we have this battle between the 41 of David Wessel and the 42 of Michael Fox. Well, I'm trying to look up Michael Fox's stream to see what position this is for. Alright, there we go. This is for 10th. So something's up with the 37 Hall as he's lost touch with the 14 of Parsons, and it looked like something happened to him in turn 1 and 2, and now Spencer Boyce is getting around him. And I believe that is for 4th place, and that is for position. Yeah, but Hall's coming back on him now. Oh, Spencer Boyce almost getting into that wall. Oh, but he gets loose off of 2. They're side by side going into 3. That very tight turn 3 and 4. Oh, but Spencer holds on to it. Oh, the 9 of Michael Whitman is coming in for his last stop. As we have 26 laps to go. And Michael Whitman is pitting from the lead, yeah, to make his final stop of the race. Yeah, and it looks like he is taking 4 tires and fuel. To be on the safe side. Yep, and he is coming out. So we made a rather interesting pit call to stay in the lead earlier in this run. But now he's looking for something similar here as the 42 of Michael Fox is coming in for his last stop. As is the 37 of Kevin Hall. So if you're Tegan Jones and you're the one leading now, you just saw the 9 of Whitman make his stop. How will you react? And when will you come down pit road? And the 4 still stays out. And of course, with Jones leading, as we see the 48, the 12, and the 14 all in. Yeah, but if you're the 4, you're a noble driver leading this race. Not only will you get 5 regular season points, but you'll also get 2 extra playoff points on top of the 3 that you get for winning the race normally. But of course, he still has to make his stop, though. And the 88 is now in. And it looks like the 2 of Cameron Morris is also in. The 24 is coming in. And yes, it is the 2 of Cameron Morris. And Tegan Jones, he stays out again. He's trying to stretch this out as long as he possibly can. Trying to make an overcut work, it seems. I think we got 1 or 2 cars that hit the grass coming off of pit road. I believe it was either the 88 or the 2. Yeah, the 4. Tegan Jones is now coming up to lap traffic, so how will they play a factor? I'm looking at my Whitman's view as well as his stream. He's in clean air. He has a clear track in front of him. So he has the chance to lay down some fast laps while he has those fresh tires. And of course, if you're Tegan Jones, you have traffic in front of you, so you're not going to have that luxury as he actually gets into the wall off of turn 4. Again, Jones trying to stretch it. Yeah, but when will he come down pit road for his final stop? Oh, we got the 3 of Williams in the wall. Yeah, and that's the problem with lap traffic. You never know what they're going to do. Especially in front of the leaders. And so Tegan has to gingerly drive his way around this track. Make sure he doesn't get involved in any scraps with lap traffic. Because all that'll do is just slow him up, and that'll allow potentially the 9 of Michael Whitman to cycle back out into the lead. And he goes on the inside of Williams. Put him a lap down. I believe we are coming to 16 laps to go. Or 15 laps to go. And now he's holding up Bradley as Kevin Williams gets loose off of 2. And Bradley gets around. And Jones still stretching it as long as he possibly can. But you gotta wonder still, when will he make his pit stop? And yep, there it is. He's on pit road. But with Jones staying out as long as he has and this late in the race, he actually might try to risk it and go for 2 tires. That way he can stay out front. And the 9 has gotten around before Jones. Let's see what he does here. It looks like he is going with 4 tires and fuel. And yep, he is out. And yes, the 9 has gotten back around the Ford Tegan Jones. And he's running in second. And the 41 of David Wessel is now the leader. But now you gotta wonder when he will make his stop. Unless he may also try to stretch it out. As I believe he crossed the line with 11 to go. Of course, he tried something similar at the midweek race at Las Vegas. But it ultimately didn't work in his favor. As he crossed the line with 10 to go. But Wessel is coming in for his final stop now. But something happened to Tegan Jones as he was on the apron as he came off of 4. So that more than likely means when pits cycle out, the 9 of Michael Whitman will reassume the lead. And it looks like, yes, he will take the lead back. With 9 laps to go. So Michael Whitman looks like he's gonna try to win the race on pit strategy. 8 laps to go. But of course, the one thing that he wants to hear, 5 laps to go, no more cautions. And that means the race is pretty much official no matter what. And the 14 of Ryan Parsons is now taking over second. 7 to go. Earlier in this run, with that first cycle of green flag pit stops, he was the first one on. And he was able to make a massive undercut work in his favor. And when it came to the money stop, he too was the first on pit road. And he has made the undercuts work to perfection as of right now. With 6 laps to go now. He's en route to take a solid win. And his 3rd of the season. 5 laps to go, no more cautions. So 5 more laps until Whitman gets 5 more bonus points. And with his win, he and the rest of the top 5 will be eligible for the next Noble race, which I believe will be the first race at Talladega. Four to go. And he has a huge gap over second place, Ryan Parsons. And meanwhile, the battle for second is between Parsons and the 4 of Tegan Jones. With 3 laps to go as Whitman just crossed the line. Tegan Jones is the highest running of the 5 No Bull drivers. Meaning that he too will score 5 regular season points. As Whitman has gotten around the 3 of Kevin Williams to put him a lap down. 2 laps to go. And of course, you got to be careful coming off of turn 2 with that bump. I mean, with the lead that Whitman has, he can get a little loose off of turn 2 off of that bump. Still be okay, and white flag is out, 1 lap to go. Half a lap to go, and it looks like the pit strategy will rule the day for the 2023 champion. Off of turn 4, the 9 gets his 3rd. Michael Whitman wins at Darlington, and he wins the Southern 500. Ryan Parsons 2nd, Tegan Jones 3rd, Kevin Hall 4th, and Jared Hoff 5th. So that will be your top 5 here tonight, and they will be your 5 drivers for the next No Bull race at Talladega. But what a win for the 9 of Michael Whitman. His 3rd win of the 2024 season. Giving himself 5 extra regular season points in the process. And it was Tegan Jones with the fastest lap of the race with a 28.9. And before I started the broadcast, I forgot to start a party. So I will go ahead and bring in your race winner, the 9 of Michael Whitman. And there he is, your 2024 Southern 500 winner, Michael Whitman. A pretty wild day all around, not just for you, but everyone else. But ultimately, it was pit strategy that won you the race.
Yeah, I'd say pit strategy and track position. Just got out front there, got out to a good lead. Feel bad for Wessel. I think he had a good car, but he had some issues that got away from him. And then Tegan got a little bit farther back, and I was kind of happy that nobody else really tried to employ the strategy I did of evening out the pit stops. Because I knew the last pit stop, 2 was not going to be a winning call. So I felt that 4 was the way to go, so I decided to just try to make the runs as even as I could, just so I can get the most out of each run. But definitely happy to be a Southern 500 winner. I didn't ever think I'd hear that, because Darlington never really been a great track for me, but I felt pretty good this week, so it's good to find something and get that Southern 500 trophy.
Yeah, and on top of that, since you were a non-eligible no bull driver, you get yourself 5 extra regular season points
Well,
for winning
actually,
the race.
so technically, since 2 of the no bull guys didn't race, that made it so that the 6th and 7th, which actually ended up being the 6th and 8th because the 7th place Daytona 500 finisher wasn't here. So me and Ryan were actually part of the no bull 5 today. So I get the full prize. I don't actually remember what it is, but I get the whole shebang, which is definitely a plus out of today for sure.
Well, they did appear on the qualifying results sheet, but apparently they did not race. So, let me explain that quick. So, any one of the top 5 that does not run the next no bull race, the next highest finisher of that group is automatically no bull eligible. So a pretty wild turn of events for that. So not only do you get 5 extra regular season points, but 2 extra playoff points on top of the 3 that you normally get. So that's definitely going to help you when we get to the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure, and it also really just helps because Tegan got that no bull bonus at Daytona, so that kind of evens us out a little bit on that plane. So it'll be interesting to see where we're at going into the off week points wise. I think with the no bull win, that'll help me get the point lead. Maybe it's gonna be close. I'm not too sure, but definitely happy to notch that off. And I believe our next no bull race is Talladega in 3 weeks. So it'll be me, Ryan, Tegan, Kevron, and whoever finished 5th. JB finished 5th. So those will be the 5 guys going out at Talladega.
Yeah, and you will be one of those 5 guys. So because of that, of course, Talladega is a very draft heavy track. So do you have any plans going into that race?
Well, plan number 1 is just because we'll see who wins 2 weeks at Kansas. But the plan for me will be to try to get either the 88 or the 24 a win, just to get them locked in the playoffs. So that's the number 1 plan, at least from my perspective as of right now. If neither of them can win it, of course I'm going to go for the win and try to get that extra. Definitely try to prevent the 4 car from getting it.
So yeah, Talladega is going to be a pretty wild race for sure. But of course, yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild stretch of races before we get there. But of course, next week is our off week, and I'm sure you would like to head into that with a win.
It's definitely nice. It was kind of an unexpected one. I think every driver goes into the season and kind of looks at the schedule and sees where their lane is to win. And I didn't see this one in my lane, but everything works out right and you can execute, then it'll work out. So definitely proud to win this one. Great run by Ryan. I'm just going to give him credit. He was a lap down at one point, rallied back to 2nd. I think he had the best car. It was close between a few of us up there towards the front, but I want to give a big shout out to Ryan on his comeback run today.
But yeah, for you, it was the pit calls that won you the day. So and that gave you your 3rd win of the year. So congratulations on that. Enjoy your off week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks at Kansas.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you doing this. Hope we put on a show. It was definitely interesting at some points. I think the party chat might have been the most interesting part about it, but I don't know if you knew what was going on in there during it, but we had some complaints.
I heard a little bit of it at the end of stage 1 or 2, I believe.
Stage 2 is where it was what really going a little bit. That was a little distracting, but you know, we don't have it out for anybody, even though they might think we do. So just moving forward, but thank you for doing this. I appreciate you doing this every week for us, especially on Easter Sunday when we've got a cup race going on in real life. Big shout out to you. Thank you, Kylo.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah. Go talk to Ryan. He was fast.
Okay, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Good.
All right, and so I will bring in the 14 of Ryan Parsons. He had probably the fastest car out of everyone, especially at the end of that first stint. But of course, he dropped to the back, ended up a lap down at one point, and he rallied all the way back to finish in the runner-up spot. There he is, your runner-up finisher, Ryan Parsons. A pretty wild roller coaster day for you, I would say. At one point, you were up front leading the race. Another moment, you were a lap down in the back, and all of a sudden, you found yourself with a runner-up finish. That's pretty crazy, I think.
Yeah, that first stage, the car was really good. Made a minor adjustment because I just needed a little more turn, and then the two that took 2 tires, Kevron and Mike, I just knew the car was on rails at that point. So getting the stage win was huge. Second stage, I fucked up. I hit one of the bumps extremely wrong, and it just set me dead left, and I couldn't catch it. Thankfully, that last caution came out in the final stage, got my lap back, and stormed my way through the field. The car was fantastic, and if I don't mess up, maybe I win, maybe I don't. Mike had a really, really good strategy, so it would have been damn close.
Yeah, and with Kamal Riot and Anthony Peters not racing, you ended up as one of the drivers eligible for the No Bull, and with your second place, you fall like just short of that. So, I mean, how does it feel coming up just a little bit short on those 2 extra playoff points?
It hurts a little bit, but I have a good point standing right now, and I believe the next bull race, which if I'm not mistaken is Dega 1, that track could really fall my way because I've had major success at Talladega with my teammates and everybody else, so maybe I can get the No Bull there. But it sucks, but there's nothing I could have done about it. I made my mistake in the second stage, and I think that's probably what hurt me the most.
Well, of course, the last time we were at Talladega, you won a race in a fashion that was so wild that left me completely speechless for pretty much the entire race. So, do you have something similar in mind as we get ready for that?
Hopefully not that crazy. God, that race was insane. That was a very clutch moment. Got lucky with who I had behind me and how I raced and how I proceeded to stop him from trying to get runs, and got lucky that the finish line was just a little bit closer, that Bradley and them couldn't pass me. No, I hope I can get a good run at Dega. Hopefully I can get hooked up with my teammates and get up front with those guys because we're very good at that track. Our chemistry is really, really good. So hopefully when that No Bull race comes around, I'm ready for it. But right now it's focused on the off week and then be ready for Kansas in 2 weeks.
Yeah, speaking of Kansas, that's our next 1.5-mile race. And, of course, you had a pretty strong showing at Chicagoland. So do you have any plans for what you have up your sleeve there?
I mean, all my 1.5 miles this year, Kentucky was a solid run. Atlanta was a solid run. Chicagoland was probably the best run I had. Just didn't get aggressive enough on pit road. I don't know. That one's going to be more track position than this race was because it's just one lane, where this track's just narrow and it's hard to pass. Hopefully I have something up my sleeve, but I know guys like Mike, the Kamal, Tegan, Bradley, they're all strong there at Kansas, and it's just the high lane, so I have to capitalize on the mistakes and hopefully put myself in the right position, and hopefully if I'm not in a position in the lead, that the two guys or however many guys are in front of me speed, and I get lucky.
Yeah, well, we can't wait for the next two races when we come out of the off week. But yeah, congratulations on a very solid runner-up finish, and enjoy your off week, and we'll see you at Kansas.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our third place finisher, and that will be the 4 of Tegan Jones. I would say he had a very solid day. He started mid-pack. He was running in the top 5 for pretty much the entire time, and ultimately some pit strategy didn't really go his way, but he did end up with a very solid third place finish. Let me go ahead and get him in here. Yep, and there he is, Tegan Jones, taking the bottom step of the podium here at the Southern 500. I would say it was a pretty solid day for you. You know, started mid-pack and ran top 5 pretty much the whole time. And even though some pit strategy didn't go your way, you still ended up with a solid third place finish.
And it was all right. It's just this was a track position race. After the second stage was finished, I just got behind, making mistakes, hitting that glitch bump on off the exit of 2 that kind of let Wessel and Mike draft away. I kind of reeled Mike back in before we made our last pit stop. I should have pitted with him or right after him instead of going long. That way I would have been, kind of closer to him to get him on the long run maybe. But I was hoping that I could pit late and have the fresh tires, and that didn't work because I about spun myself out 2 laps into the run. So I'm starting to learn some stuff with some new pit strategies that's going to have to start working out for me, because that's what's beating me in these races. So I guess, I figured out where some of the speed I've been losing here lately, but I guess I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on pit strategy, because that used to be my thing.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild that you would kind of lose a race like that. But with the top 5 in tonight's Snow Bowl race, you're eligible for the next Snow Bowl race at Talladega. And of course, I was just, talking to your teammate, Ryan Parsons, who won the last race that we ran at Talladega. And he told me what he was planning to do. So, are you planning on working with your teammates, or when push comes to shove, are you going to try to go for the win yourself?
I mean, I like to win a Talladega race just because it's a race I have not won yet, or track. It's my first race I've ever been to in real life, back in 2001. So, but, I'm also in the game of helping teammates win. Usually that's what we like to do at Sturt Haas when it comes to Talladega. We like to use those races as an easy win, I guess some would call it. We kind of earn it. So I do think we're going to have a harder time this time around of working together and making it work. That shit's not going to keep, lightning's not going to keep striking. So I figured some of these teams are going to start bucking up or figuring it out or something to stop us. So, but yeah, if it comes down to it, I'm 100% behind a teammate winning that race. It's just, we're a 4 teammate. It's just, who do you go with? Because none of my guys have won a race yet. None of them's locked in and points situation wise, except for maybe Ryan's probably looking pretty good right now. Kamal, if he can make the whole race, yes, that's an easy push. Wessel for sure. Harris, Morris, NSP if he's able to come back. So It's just you got to pick which son gets the daddy's love. So um, Harris would be like me because he's in the basement, but I don't know. Him and Ryan won it last year, so it might be somebody else's turn.
Yeah, but before we go to Dago, we have Kansas in 2 weeks, and over the last few years, you've had one of, if not the most dominant mile-and-a-half package in this league. So, do you think you can keep that momentum going in that regard?
I don't know. Kansas is a hit and miss for me. I remember a couple of times where I had the fastest car there and had a speeding penalty, or somebody had a steering wheel come apart on them on the start of the race, and we went green, so I had to make up that time and still almost won the race. But uh, with the way the league has tightened up speed-wise, I think that one's going to be one where it's so high line dominant. It's going to be a crapshoot. It's almost going to be a little bit like a plate race, especially considering that we run normal draft there just to help bring in the bottom line a little bit. Because if we don't, it's just ring around the rosy on the top line. So um, I don't know. It's with the way everybody's caught up in speed, it may be a shit show or it may be a good race. So I guess we'll find out. And on top of that, people have caught up to me on my mile and a half program. So especially like Michael. So good win for him tonight. I felt like we were kind of even back and forth a little bit when that last next to the last run. So that's just people are getting me on track position and traffic and mistakes that are being made on my part, and then some stuff that's going off in the chat that shouldn't be. So, but we'll clean that up maybe here in a week or two.
Well, it may be a crapshoot or a shit show when we come back from the off week, but it should be really fun to watch. But congratulations on a very solid top 5 finish. Enjoy your off week, and we'll see you at Kansas.
Thanks, Kylo.
Yeah, no problem. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our 4th place finisher, and that is the 37 of Kevin Hall. I would say he had another very solid day. He was up in the top 5 for pretty much the entirety of the race. And that's pretty much where he finished, as he got himself a 4th place finish. And there he is, Kevin Hall, finishing 4th here in the Southern 500. I would say a pretty wild day, but a pretty solid day, as you were pretty much able to hang on into the top 5 for pretty much the entire race. How did it feel out there?
Well, you nailed it right there, man. Wild, but whatever the other word is you said. Sorry, I'm too tired to think now.
Solid.
Solid, yeah. Wild, but solid. Darlington is just a track position type of deal, and get dealt with the cards you're handed, and sometimes you can go all in and win it all, and sometimes you just end up a little bit short, and for us it was finishing 4th, but definitely had a car that was capable of winning if the cards fell right. But that stupid glitch bump off of turn 2, man, I swear if there was any other week that we can have a solid chance of winning, something else is going to have to mess up for the 37 to be out of victory lane, because if it's always something, seems like. But top 5 though, man, back to back, so we'll take that strong and go into Kansas in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and with your top 5 finish tonight, that means you are automatically eligible for the next No Bull race at Talladega. And of course, Talladega is a plate track and pretty much a great equalizer, meaning anyone can win. But what's your strategy to make sure that you're the one that ends up winning the race?
I don't have one. A lot of the times when you have the likes of Team Stewart Haas and Team Hendrick, they pull all their guys together and they form such a dynamic duo. It's virtually impossible to be able to stay in front of the likes of those guys. 8 against 1 is just something that is against the Doherty team here, because JC, he had to leave a couple months ago, and obviously has not been back, and being a one-man show right here for the team, it's we can always try to politic our way into other guys to work with us, and like vice versa and stuff, but it's that's going to be the biggest task, is trying to beat out those two teams right there.
Yeah, but of course, before we go to Talladega, we take an off week, and after that, we hit Kansas. So, of course, Kansas is sort of like a miniature plate track, kind of sort of like Atlanta in some
Yep.
ways. So, do you have any strategy going into that?
Follow the leader, unless you're the leader, and hopefully that somebody behind you doesn't act stupid. But I don't really particularly have a setup for Kansas to be the fastest guy, but I've always had a setup to where within the draft you can always stay with them. I don't have a problem with that, but honestly, it's kind of one of those snooze fest kind of tracks that can only be exciting when people try to gamble and take the low line, but 99.9% of the time it never works. The only way it works is if somebody's that they're trying to pass ends up tapping the wall and losing that momentum. They can get that shot out there, and they can slide job it up and do all that nature, and then back everybody else behind them up, and then it becomes a crap show behind them because everybody's dodging everybody. I hate those races. I hate it. I'll be glad to get Kansas out of the way, and especially Talladega. But it's been fun, man. Like I said, finishing 4th and 3rd and all that stuff. Car's capable of winning, but we've been mistake-free, and our win's coming, dude. It's a matter of time. But congratulations to Mike Man on winning, and all those guys up there in the Chevy camp doing a great job and trying to put Chevrolets in the victory lane here, man. And luckily, we only had one Ford to be able to hit victory lane. Granted, 6 times being Tegan, but we got some pretty good stuff working here at the Chevrolet camp. So, looking forward to Kansas, man.
No, we can't wait for that. So, congratulations on your top 5 finish. Enjoy your week off, and we'll see you in a couple weeks at Kansas.
I appreciate you for broadcasting, Harp. Thank you again, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right, we will bring in one more interviewee for tonight, and that will be our 5th place finisher. If I can find him here. No, it wasn't Wessel. It was oh, great. I'm screwing all this up now. I'm sorry, guys. And that is the 88 of Jared Haw. Gonna go ahead and get him in here. And I would say that Jared Haw, I would say he had his day was on par with Parsons, and there he is, your 5th place finisher, Jared Haw. And as I was saying just now before you came in here, like, your day was kind of on par with Ryan Parsons, as you had a really good car at the start of the race, but then at some point you dropped to the back, but ultimately you came back and got yourself a top 5 finish. Take us through that pretty wild race.
Well, I had a really, really, really good car. Biggest issue I had was I don't know what happened between the 37 and the 9 in front of me, but they had a little issue going into 3 one lap. And then they went down into 1, and one of the two hit the wall and then parked it in front of me, and I got a ton of front end damage from it. And this was in the middle of stage 2, and I couldn't run 2 more laps. I had to pit because I just could not actually get around the track with making good lap time. So I went down pit road, fixed my damage, and never was able to recover my track position. So could have been a lot better day, but still happy to get a top 5. Just been a rough stretch of races for me, and hoping to actually get back into having some better speed here.
Yeah, and I actually did watch that camera view of what you were talking about, and it was the 37 that gave the 9 the bumper, and it was the 9 that hit the wall and gave you that front end damage you were describing. But with that top 5, you are now one of the guys eligible for the next No Bull race at Dega. So, of course, Dega is pretty much a crapshoot track when it comes to the league. So, what's your plan going into that?
Well, I really need some points, so hope to be aggressive and hope to just be able to beat those other guys, especially considering I finished second in the last 2 spring Talladega races. I pushed teammates to a win in both those races, so let's hope that for once it's on the opposite hand and someone's pushing me to the win. So, but we'll see. Definitely think my super speedway racing has gotten better over the years, but we'll see how or whether I can get some extra points out of that race or not.
And of course, in a couple weeks, we have Kansas, which is sort of like a miniature version of a plate track. So, do you think there's going to be a lot of similarities between the two?
Well, I can tell you one thing: we won't be riding the top at Talladega, but unfortunately at Kansas we will be. I think there will be a lot of drafting at Kansas, but it's going to play out a lot different, just strategy-wise, and the way you're going to have to make moves and everything. I hope Kansas goes well. I really don't know how it will go. I have a feeling it's going to end up being a dive bomb city for most of that race, but let's hope not, and let's hope we can get a good finish out of it. It's probably one of my favorite mile and a halves, if not my best mile and a half. So we'll see whether we can sneak out a mile and a half win or finally get back into victory lane. So.
Well, we can't wait to see what happens there. But congratulations on a very good top 5 finish. Enjoy your week off, and we'll see you in a couple weeks at Kansas.
Alrighty, thank you, and thank you for broadcasting.
Yeah, of course. And of course, I will go ahead and stream. But yeah, pretty wild Southern 500 and our second No Bull race of the year. And yeah, again, with all the wild stuff that's going on, with guys hitting the wall, shuffling back and forth, hitting that bump off of turn 2 that causes the cars to get loose. In the end, it was pit strategy. That was the name of the game. And it fell into the hands of Michael Whitman, who grabbed his 3rd win of the 2024 season. And by virtue of Kamal Wright and Anthony Peters not competing in the race tonight, that made Whitman one of the 5 No Bull drivers, as well as Ryan Parsons. And not only did he get himself 5 extra regular season points, but a total of 5 playoff points as well. And that will definitely help his cause going into the season, or to the end of the season. And with that, of course, we the Cup guys are off next week because next week is WrestleMania, and a number of our guys are big WWE fans, and of course they would like to watch WrestleMania. So originally we were going to have the off week this week, and the doubleheader would be next week. The Gateway Road America doubleheader would have been next week. But because of WrestleMania, a slight change to the schedule was made to allow for our WWE fans in the league to watch WrestleMania, and of course that will be allowed. But so hopefully, not only will it give them a chance to cheer on their favorite superstars, but also give them a chance to rest and put the pressure of racing off for the week. But of course, our next races will be both midweek. And of course, this upcoming Wednesday will be the truck race at Gateway, which was the site of the season finale last season for the midweek guys. And next Wednesday, we'll take the Xfinity cars and we'll hit up Michigan for a very pretty wild super speedway race there. So hopefully you'll join us for those two. But until then, we would like to thank you guys for watching tonight. A pretty wild one here at the Southern 500. So don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys next time, which will be in 2 weeks at Kansas Speedway. But if you decide to stick around, we will be racing midweek for the next couple weeks, or the next couple Wednesdays. So until then, have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.